to tell you a story today that I learned years ago on New Year's Eve from a good friend of mine called Julia. And it took me about 3 days to learn this story because it's a fold-along story and I'm not good at folding at all. But I love the story, so I had to learn it. And it's a story about a princess. Now this princess, I have to say, I forgot her name. So let's just call her Princess. This princess had a crown. And that was her main problem. Because her crown was so big, made of gold, with loads of jewels on it. It was so heavy that every time she put it on top of her head, she had a terrible headache. And every morning she had to get up, she had to open the small cupboard. Inside that cupboard on the cushion was her crown. She had to put it on because her parents insisted, you have to wear your crown. You are a princess has to wear her crown. So that's what she did. But every morning after 5 minutes, she usually lost it. She ran down the stairs, shook her head, it fell down and lay there, forgotten. She ran out into the park playing and it fell down and she never picked it up. But every next morning, when she opened her cupboard, sure enough, there was her crown again, because there were so many servants and their only task was to search for the crown and put it back. Now one day, her mother came into her room in the morning, woke her up and told her, it's your cousin's birthday. He's going to be here today to celebrate his birthday and I want you to wear your crown the whole day. Now, I don't know if your mums are ever strict with you, but you know if they are, you better do what they say. So the princess knew this day there was no sneaking off, no fooling around. She had to wear her crown. She opened her cupboard. She looked inside, but her crown was gone. This one day the servants hadn't found her crown, so the princess, she had to go looking for it. And without breakfast, she was going down the stairs. She was running out into the park, looking around to find it. But she couldn't. Now the first one she met in the park was Mr. Duck, swimming on a pond. So she ran up to the duck and she said, Mr. Duck, have you seen my crown? Now, what do you think the duck said? Well, it said like this. Ducks are pretty stupid and they can't speak our language, so that wasn't helpful. But the princess, she went deeper into the park to a place where there are loads of trees. And under one tree, snoring, she found Mr. Fox. Now if you think about it, foxes are very clever. So she went to the fox and she asked him, Mr. Fox, wake up, wake up. The fox shook himself and he woke up and he said, oh, princess, what do you want? Oh, Mr. Fox, have you seen my crown? Oh, well, what does it look like? And so she said, well, it's a heavy, big crown made of gold with loads of jewels. And the fox said, oh yes, this morning while I was looking for breakfast, I heard a little birdie flying around singing about something golden and beautiful he had seen. And that bird, he was so busy singing and flying he didn't see me. And so, I ate him. Delicious. The princess stared at the fox and said, you ate him? You ate him? You ate the only one who knew where my crown is? Oh, I'm in so much trouble. I'm in so much trouble. Well, the fox, he started to feel a little bit embarrassed. He said, well, maybe he isn't digested yet. I could cough him up, maybe. And the fox started to cough and cough. And he was coughing so much that really, inside his belly, something seemed to move. And then with one big cough, out of his mouth flew the little bird. And he was flying up and down. Oh, thank goodness! Oh, thank goodness I'm safe! Oh, thank you, princess! And he told the princess that he had been flying over the ocean that morning. He had looked down, and deep down in the water he had seen something golden and glistening. And that's when our princess remembered, yes, yesterday she had been out on her precious boat, sailing over the ocean. So she got her boat again, she climbed inside, she went out, all the time looking over the side of the boat if she could see something golden and glistening. And as she looked down, really, there she saw something shimmering in the water, and she jumped out of the boat and she dived deep down. Now you have to know, the ocean has very salty water and you can't open your eyes, it would sting. So she had her eyes closed, but she dove down and she felt around and grabbed something, and as she came up to the surface, now, it wasn't her crown, it was a starfish. And she looked at him and she thought, oh no, I can't wear him on my head, I'm not a mermaid. So she threw him back into the water. But as she looked around, she realized she had made one big mistake. Our princess had forgotten to throw out the anchor, so her little boat was gone, and now she had to swim all the way back to shore. I would love to tell you that our princess was a good swimmer, but no, she was just like myself, a very bad, very poor swimmer. So probably she would have drowned if there hadn't been another boat to pick her up. And that is a very special boat, a houseboat. The people there picked her up and they wrapped her into blankets, warm blankets, and they gave her hot cocoa to warm her up. And they asked her, Princess, how on earth did you end up here in the middle of the ocean? And she told them everything about her cousin's birthday, about the crown that was gone, and about the trouble she was in. And the captain of the houseboat, he asked her, Princess, why don't you just hide until your cousin is gone again? Nobody will ever know that you didn't wear your crown. So when she came back ashore, and came back to her castle, that's what she did. She was hiding up in the highest tower of the castle, in a small little room where nobody ever went. And that room was so dark, there was just one narrow window, with barely any light coming in. And she was hiding there, folding her arms and saying, I won't come out until the sun goes down. Now she sat there for 2, 3, 4 minutes, and then she got really bored. And she started to feel around in the darkness, feeling around in every corner if there might be something here she could play with. And truly, there, in one corner of the room, there was something heavy. She grabbed it and she dragged it to the middle of the room where that window was with the light falling down. And in that light she saw it was a treasure chest. Now as she opened that treasure chest, inside she found her crown. Don't ask me how it got there, I don't know. But there was her crown. She put it on top of her head and she ran down the stairs and ran to her cousin, who was pretty nasty by the way. And with that cousin she played a game that she had come up with that moment, and that was swap your crowns. So she got her cousin's crown and he got her crown, and from that day on she never had a headache again. And that's the story. Thank you.